Hi guys, this video is about the change in classification of entities for the purpose of applicability of accounting standards. Now this is very important. This is applicable from May 2022 attempt. Now before we discuss what is the change in classification, we should all be aware about the applicability of accounting standards. So in our normal classes, we have discussed that to a company accounting standards are mandatory because it is specified under section 129 that every financial statement that we prepare should be in compliance with the accounting standards prescribed under section 133. So that makes it mandatory for company forms of organization to follow accounting standards. For other forms of organizations, though accounting standards are not directly applicable, whenever they want to get the financial statements attested, a CA in practice has to ensure that those financial statements are in compliance with accounting standards. Now, once we know that accounting standards are applicable to a particular form of organization, there are still certain exemptions given to reduce the compliance burden. There are certain full exemptions given or certain partial exemptions given, like accounting standard 3 cash flow statement is not applicable to smaller forms of organization. So this is only to reduce their compliance burden. For this partial exemptions or full exemptions, there is classification of entities. There has been a change in the definition of these classification of entities because of a change in the definition of MSMEs, micro, small and medium enterprises. Let me repeat, this change is applicable from May 2022 attempt onwards. Now what is the change that we are talking about? There are two classifications, guys. One is the classification by Ministry of Corporate Affairs, MCA. Now this classification is applicable to companies, and there's another classification that is by ICAI, which is applicable to all the other forms of organization. So as per MCA, earlier also there were, as far as the classification by MCA is concerned, remember this video is only talking about the amendment part, alright. So as far as the classification by MCA was concerned, there were two categories called as non-SMC and SMC. As far as the classification by MCA was concerned, for the purpose of applicability of accounting standards, two categories, non-SMC and SMC, non-small and medium-sized company and a small and medium-sized company. As far as a non-small and medium-sized company was concerned, the first condition was listing criteria. If any securities of the company, guys, are listed or in the process of being listed in India or outside India, it will be a non-SMC. The minute your securities are listed, you will be deemed to be a bigger entity. You will be a non-SMC. All accounting standards are applicable in full. So the first one was based on listing status. No change as such, The first one was based on listing status. There is absolutely no change in this. The second one was based on the nature of business. This was for financial institutions, guys. If you are a bank, mutual fund, or if you are basically a insurance company or any other financial institution, guys, then accounting standards would be applicable in full. Again, there is no change here. The first criteria was based on listing status. Second criteria was based on the nature of business. So if you're basically a financial institution, a bank, insurance company, or any other financial institution, then accounting standards are applicable in full. There are no exemptions given. The third condition was based on turnover. The third condition was based on turnover. If the turnover of the entity during the previous financial year exceeds 50 crores, it was termed as a non-SMC. But now instead of 50 crores, the revised definition talks about 250 crores. Again, this change has been brought in only because the definition of MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises, has changed. So earlier, guys, turnover should have exceeded 50 crores. This was the criteria earlier. But instead of 50 crores, now it should be exceeding 250 crores. If the turnover of the entity during the previous financial year exceeds 250 crore rupees, then it will be deemed to be a non-SMC. And then, guys, the fourth condition was based on borrowings. If the borrowings of the entity, including public deposits, or remember the turnover, definition of the word turnover does not include other income, it is only revenue from operations. And then borrowings will include public deposits. So if borrowings of the company, guys, during the previous financial year at any given point of time exceeds 10 crores, it was termed as a non-SMC. But now instead of 10 crores, it has been changed to 50 crores. Earlier it was 10 crores, now it is exceeds 50 crores. So at any time during the previous financial year, if the borrowings of the company exceeds 50 crore rupees, it will be termed as a non-SMC. So this is the only two changes that they brought in: turnover definition and borrowing definition. Turnover during the previous financial year as such should exceed 250 crores instead of 50, and borrowings at any given point of time during the previous financial year exceeds 50 crore rupees. Earlier it was 10 crores, now the limit is 50 crores. The fifth point, no change, but a subsidiary or joint venture, associate, holding company or subsidiary of any of the above entities. Holding or subsidiary of any of the above, even that will be termed as, basically I would say, better, group companies. So these are the conditions as such, better, for a non-SMC. Any one condition satisfies, it is a non-SMC. So there is no change in the first point, which is regarding the listing criteria, no change in the second point, which is based on nature of business. But then yes, there's a change in the definition of turnover and the definition of borrowings. All right. Now anything that is not a non-SMC, beta, would come under the category of SMC. So this is the revised criteria that you should be aware of. You can obviously refer to ICAI material, or you can also refer to the class notes that I've given in the latest batches. This criteria will be clearly given, or I'll share the link of the PDF of the class material also, guys, along with this video. So this is for MCA. This is what is available to companies. As far as classification by ICAI is concerned, classification by ICAI. Earlier there were three classifications. Earlier there were three classifications, guys, but now we have four classifications. Level 1, this is basically non-MSMEs. And then micro, small and medium enterprises. Isme beta we have level 2, which are basically medium enterprises. We have level 3, which are small enterprises. And then we have level 4, which are micro enterprises. For your understanding, you do not have to remember them as medium, small and micro. It is just for our understanding. Earlier there were only 3 classifications, but now we have 4 classifications. All right. Now, the very first point, beta, listing status, nature of financial business, no change. If you are an entity whose securities are listed or in the process of being listed in India or outside India, you will be a very large entity. You will be a non-MSME, and all accounting standards will be applicable in full. If the nature of business is of financial nature, bank, financial institution, guys, then it will again be a non-MSME. Third point and fourth point, as I've discussed earlier, beta, there is a change. Earlier, beta, the turnover should have exceeded 50 crores, but now the turnover should exceed 250 crores. Earlier, guys, this is the revised one. Earlier, the turnover should have exceeded 50 crores, but now the turnover should exceed 250 crore rupees. Earlier, beta, the borrowings at any given point of time during the previous financial year should have exceeded 10 crores. This is the limit that was there earlier. But now, beta, the borrowings during the previous at any point during the previous financial year as such, beta, should exceed 50 crore rupees. Last point, beta, group companies ka point is still same. So this is the level 1 definition, guys, is the same as non-SMC definition. Level 1 definition is the same as non-SMC definition, guys. There is no change in that part, but then you just have to remember that turnover limit is not 50 crores anymore, it is 250 crores. And borrowing limit, beta, is 50 crores. For medium enterprises, beta, you only talk about turnover and borrowing status. So if the turnover, beta, earlier the turnover used to be between 10 crores and 50 crores. Here, beta, it should be greater than, it exceeds 50 crores and is less than or equal to 250 crores. I repeat, earlier for you to be for an entity to be a level 2 entity, guys, the turnover should have exceeded 10 crores, but should have been less than or equal to 50 crores. But now instead of 10 and 50 crores limit, it is 50 crores and 250 crores. So if the turnover exceeds 50 crore rupees and is less than or equal to 250 crores, it will come under a level 2 entity. Likewise, guys, for borrowings, the limit is, it is greater than 10 crores and is less than or equal to 50 crores. The borrowing should be greater than 10 crore rupees and is less than or equal to 50 crore rupees. Earlier it was 1 crore and 10 crores, guys, but now it is 10 crores and 50 crores. Do remember the revised limits, pretty important for the purpose of exam. So if the turnover or the borrowing, beta, satisfies this criteria, then it would come under a level 2 entity. Level 3, beta, is turnover exceeds 10 crores and is less than or equal to 50 crores. Turnover exceeds 10 crore rupees and is less than or equal to 50 crores. Borrowing exceeds 2 crores. Do remember this thoroughly. Borrowing exceeds 2 crores and is less than or equal to 10 crores. Micro enterprises is a residual category. Anything that does not fit into the category of level 1, level 2 or level 3 guys would come under level 4. Let me repeat. As far as the classification by ICAI is concerned, you can remember that as two broad classifications. One is non-MSME and the other one is MSME. For non-MSME guys, it is the same definition as non-SMC. That is, whatever was the definition given for company, the same definition applies for non-MSME also. As far as MSMEs are concerned, they're further segregated into three categories. You have level 2, which are medium enterprises, level 3, that is small enterprises, level 4, beta, those are micro enterprises. Medium enterprises के लिए बेटा turnover limit is, it should exceed 50 crores but should be less than or equal to 250 crores. Borrowing should exceed 10 crores and is less than or equal to 50 crores. For small enterprises, the turnover should exceed 10 crores but should be less than or equal to 50 crores. Borrowing should exceed 2 crore rupees and should be less than or equal to 10 crores. Level 4 beta is a residual category. I hope you're all clear about this change in classification. They might give you borrowings and turnover beta of a particular company and ask you to check whether a particular accounting standard is applicable or not. And that also beta would only be for level 1. So they will ask, they will give you turnover limits, they will give you borrowings of a company. You will have to check whether it's a level 1 entity or a level 2 entity or a level 3 entity and accordingly write the answer. I'll be sharing the link of the PDF also guys of the class material, or you can also refer to the ICAI study material which is applicable from May 2022 attempt. All the very best guys. I hope you've understood this. Bye bye.